Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUHI Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna do something that's really quick. This is something that I always have in mind. It's like when you draw something using grease pencil. Where is it at the moment? There you go. That's a grease pencil stroke. Remember that whenever you convert it into a curve, it's become something that's a bit dense, a little bit like this. You have like hundreds or even thousands of points sometimes. You know that you can always resample it using Blender's own simplify curve. This is an add-on that I always turn it on if I want to do it manually. But these days I'm using Sverchok, and if I have this curve, and then we already know that we can get that curve, and simply doing a resample. Where is it? Let me hide this first, and then the resample. I call it resample, but this is actually not 100% resample. It's a vector interpolation. It's more or less does a resample if it's like a simple kind of single stroke like this. We know we can do a resample, and we know that we can do skin modifier thing. Remember in the previous live noding when I said in Blender, if you have edges, you can easily turn it into like a real solid objects if you use skin measure, skin modifier. And this is an example. Make it live, edges. There you go. That's a skin modifier, right? I can make it thicker. I can even randomize each and every single kind of radius that goes along this guy. You already seen it. You already seen me doing this probably a couple of times. So this is an example. You can randomize the radius like that. Okay, so that's a skin measure, and like I said, that's a really quick way to turn edges into like a form. But in here I'm trying to do it using circle, so I kind of want to have this effects of like a lofting. First of all, we need to make the circle to follow the path, like the direction of the path. This is something that I'm still thinking. Maybe I actually kind of asked the same question at the Sverchok GitHub. If I cut this, oops. Let's see what we have at the moment. The interpolations, UV connections, and the matrix. There is this rotation bit. There's a tangent that I use somewhere here. Okay, there you go. There's a tangent. I want to make a circle to follow the path. We don't want to see the final result. Just want to see. I want to show you this. Instead of polygon and V directions, I want to just see the edges. And turn off the cycle. So this is the edges, of course. UV connection is one node that I use really often to do this kind of thing. Kind of like a quick way to get the lofting happening. That's kind of the circle that I was talking about. I make it cyclic to be really clear. I have a circle, and I have this transform matrix apply, and this matrix is being created from the original points of the curve, and I'm using this tangent, the tangent of the curve, to get the curve, each and every circle to follow the curve, more or less. And then by having that, I can basically generate this guy, kind of lofting. there is a few of like problem area, like this kind of twisting. This is always happens even with a curve. I don't know how to explain this, but even if we we have this curve and then that I already resample using Blender's own, and if we are doing like an extrusion and depth and add a resolution, Blender has its own way to fix the twisting. That's actually the original tangent twisting, but minimum I think fix it. Let me turn this into a proper kind of extrusion. Extrude and depth. I want it as rounded as possible. But anyway, that's not perfect exactly. But this one, you see, the minimum fix the twisting, tangent, minimum, Z up. So we don't have this kind of control inside Sverchok. I think we only have tangents. So that's why we have this kind of twisting. It's not, it's probably something that can be improved in the Sverchok side, or we can actually simply just use the curve. Use the curve and then bring it back into Sverchok. But that's something I still kind of wondering whether that's something that Sverchok can do as well, built in. If we can't do that, then I'll need to use the skin modifier for this kind of purpose. But I wish Sverchok have a way to fix the twisting to minimum. If we can do this, it's gonna be a lot easier if we are back to the chair thing in the previous live noding. Instead of using the skin modifier for the leg, for the edges, we can really just lofting the circle, and then even if the chair looks a little bit like a jellyfish, this part of the legs can be easily using this kind of lofting operations to make a jellyfish or even like an octopus if you want. That's yeah, that's another area to think about. For now, I don't know. This might be okay. Actually, Sverchok has this polyline, if I'm not wrong, polyline viewer, and I was actually recommended by Sverchok developer as well. Just use a polyline. Maybe this will do the job for you. The polyline currently doesn't have much of control. It seems to be doing the job in a weird kind of way. Oh, actually the cyclic. No, I don't think we have control of the cyclic. Oh, okay, we do have control for the cycle. But what I remember is polyline only generate a single continuous line. So of course, it's trying to merge all these circle and lines into this twisting line. But maybe this polyline viewer is actually the answer for my question to, like, if we really need to have like a proper extrusion, like a lofting operations, we can use a polyline kind of outputting the result and then have another Sverchok node tree and then go into object in and then get the selection and using the data for the next stage. So yeah, polyline viewer is another possible alternative of the skin measure. I kind of like the curve in Sverchok anyway. I mean in Blender. Sorry. Curve is like always live object in Blender, and you can always tweak the extrusion and the depth. You can also offset it sometimes. That's useful. Okay, that's I guess pretty much it for this live noding. It's just a simple look at the curve. Grease pencil, turning it into like a nicer, more efficient curve, and then how to use that curve, turn it into another form. Yeah, that's it for this live noding. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll see you in the next